In this video, I'm going to talk about powerfx. So, what is powerfx? Microsoft powerfx is a free and open source low code general purpose programming language for expressing logic across different Microsoft Power Platform applications. Now, basically, powerfx is a low code language, it is a declarative language, it is strongly typed, it is a functional language, it's a general purpose programming language. Now, this is how the icon looks like for powerfx if you want to recognize what a powerfx system is. App makers can work directly in an Excel like formula. Now, this is important because Microsoft product Excel has a concept of formula. Now, that same concept of formula has been brought into programming languages as well as with Microsoft Power Platform services like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Pages, and many more. Um, Basically, it's a new name for the formula language for Canvas app. So it all started with Canvas app and slowly, gradually got adopted by various other applications like Power Automate, Power Pages, Copilot Studio, and many more. It's basically an incremental compiler is used to continuously keep the program in sync with the data it is operating on. All the operations in powerfx are asynchronous, so that means the operations which gets performed are like you won't get the response in a synchronous fashion. PowerFX formulas can be basically stored in a YAML source file. So if you want to use source control, then you can use YAML source file. And also from a response perspective, if you use PowerFX in say Canvas app, and if you make some changes within the formula, then the response are instantaneous, right? Now, GitHub. So GitHub has all the uh, repository contents related to PowerFX. So if you navigate to this URL, you will be able to see all the internal workings of PowerFX just by navigating to various folder, understanding what how PowerFX is structured. So those all information you will find over there. And also there is a PowerFX release. So basically, you can also navigate to NuGet to get the latest package release of PowerFX core. Now, what is the use of that? Now, you can use PowerFX core in, say, modern programming language like, say, C sharp, and then try to execute PowerFX commands or use PowerFX command within various application using code. Now, which all applications PowerFX touches on? So, first thing, it started with Canvas app. So, Power Apps, Canvas app. So, it started with Canvas app. Then, in Dataverse, when you create a column, there is a Dataverse formula column. From a model driven app perspective, there is a custom pages and command editor whereby you can use Power FX, then Power Automate Desktop, Power Pages, Copilot Studio. You can also run Power FX in command line interface as well using PackCLI command. Now, you can, as I mentioned to you, now that you can use PowerFX in your C sharp code if you want to use custom coding to utilize PowerFX, and there are many more. Uh, the similarity from a power fx perspective, I can see that excel functions, it all started with excel, and then power fx got embedded in canvas apps. So it is excel like functionality, but not all the functions are available like what is there in excel. Similar in power bi, we have something called as power bi dax function, so it also looks kind of similar for with all the power fx related function. Now, from a Power Apps Canvas app perspective, in the taskbar, like as you see over here in the formula bar, you can use PowerFX command. In There is a settings within Canvas app whereby you can directly call Microsoft SQL Server stored procedure from PowerFX. Uh, and also, if you see in this particular screen, I've simply taken a label and then I've shown you the function, and that function say one of the attribute font italic, I've set it to false. So we can manipulate this value, and then we can write powerfx function to make these changes depending on some conditions. PowerFX Power Apps custom page. So this is a simple, say, PowerFX custom page, basically, which I have created, and with that we can also use PowerFX. Similarly, powerfx data verse, so there is a column called as formula column, so you can use formula column and then you can type in formulas. Now remember, all different types or different flavors of powerfx available in different areas, they may or may not support some functionality, so it is not comprehensive. So some of the section are contextual based, and it will only support formulas within that particular boundary. PowerFX, Power Apps, model driven apps. So if you use a command bar, if you want to edit the command editor basically, then you can use PowerFX over here as well to run, say, some sort of application function. From a PowerFX Power Automate desktop perspective, now there is an option of PowerFX enabled preview. So once you create a flow in Power Automate desktop, now here I'm talking about the desktop flow. So once you start creating that flow, you get an option to turn on the PowerFX enablement, and then you will be able to use PowerFX in while creating a variable or running a PowerFX expression. So that's there is um, a variable. Basically, under variable section there is an action we can run PowerFX expression. From a Power Pages perspective, now this is the newly introduced feature in Power Pages. So you can use PowerFX in Power Pages to run various PowerFX commands. Now you can also use to query the entity using PowerFX. Now it does not replace the liquid language capability, because liquid language is very much powerful in terms of templatization. But PowerFX is just like, it will act as a complementary feature set for enhancing the features and functionality provided by Power Pages. In Copilot Studio, you can use it in message box, message action, set variable value section to write a custom formulas. And this is the NuGet PowerFX Core.NET package. Basically, you can use PowerFX Core package in C Sharp or any other programming languages depending on your need. And you can query the internals PowerFX functionality and then use in your application. Uh, in pack CLI, you have pack power dash fx command. So there are a couple of commands: pack power fx repl, which is read eval print loop, and pack power fx run, which will run power fx command from a text file or any format file, I'd say. Pack PowerFX namespace. So if you navigate to this URL, here you will find a lot of functionality. Basically, it's like a library of functions, methods, basically, which will allow you to look into Microsoft.PowerFX core utils, core localization, core parser, core entities, and all these objects which you can utilize in a programming languages. Like, say, one example would be, say, use that in C Sharp. Uh, Power BI. Now, Power BI has a set of function which will look similar to the PowerFX, but this is all tax function. But I'm just showing you because it has a lot of similarity, and sometimes people may get confused with this sort of listings. So this is all about the presentation. What I'll do is, like, I'll jump into the demo. So first thing, navigate to github.com Microsoft PowerFX, and once you go there, here you will see whole bunch of information. So if I go into, say, script folder, I will be able to see various sections. Like, there is a PowerShell command. Then if I navigate to, say, all the various other folders like docs, media, tools, release. So here, as and when you expand here, you will see various information, so related to operators, related to global, and then you can look into the readme file. And if I just navigate to the home page, let me go into the home page. Here you will see a list of documentation around Microsoft PowerFX. So it talks about how is this built, what are the different samples, who is contributing to this community, and also from here you can download the latest releases. So if I click on this releases, it will take you to that NuGet package page, and then from that NuGet gallery you can download the Microsoft.powerfx.core for supported for .NET Standard 2.0. Microsoft.PowerFX namespace. Here here you will be able to see all the documentation related to various classes and the method. So if I just scroll over here you will see expression error, features, governor, function info. So these all things can be used in C sharp .NET programming language for you know uh, defining your own set of custom functionality which utilizes powerfx in the backend. From a Copilot Studio perspective, like if I'm in Copilot Studio and if I go into topics and if I create a custom topic, or if I open any of the custom topics which I have created, then from a topic perspective, I have a node which is called as ask a question. From ask a question, there is a functionality called as insert powerfx expression. So here, if I click on insert powerfx expression, then I can start typing the powerfx function, and then you can use that function in a specific node. Now it is available at multiple places. I've used in send a message or ask a question. So if I click on send a message, here also I will be able to see the powerfx expression, and I can write the simple powerfx expression. Now as in when you type in here, you will see an IntelliSense. So if I just type n, I can see whole bunch of IntelliSense information, and I can get all these values using the IntelliSense functionality. Now I can just type in today, and then today is also one of the function within powerfx. Okay, I can save it. So that's about Microsoft Copilot Studio. Now from a Power Apps perspective, here I'm in make.powerapps.com, and if I'm in one of the tables, so contact table, and if I click on columns, if I click on new column, I can type in the display name description. From a data type perspective, I can see something called as formula. So it's kind of a calculated column, I would say, which will calculate the formula. Now here I can either add two columns, or maybe I can just start utilizing the formula from powerfx. So I can use switch function, I can use if function, so I can do whole bunch of things from the formula column perspective. So that's the touching point in the power apps area. Now I'm in one of the model driven app. Now this is one of the model driven app. So in a from a model driven app perspective, once you open a model driven app, and if you add new table in the model driven app, here you will see a functionality called as edit command bar. So if I click on edit command bar, I can create a command bar for grid or form, and if I click on edit, then I can create various commands. So I can create a new command, and I'll just name this command, say G command. And here uh, if you see action run formula, open formula bar, or you can run a JavaScript. Now run formula, if I open a formula bar, then here I can run this powerfx command over here. If I just type in say now, or maybe if I just type say notify. Okay, so like this I can specify all the powerfx command and then utilize that command bar functionality. So this is the touching point from a power apps model driven app perspective. Now similarly I can create a custom page. Now from a let me go back. Now from a model driven app perspective, if I click on new and if I click on custom page, then I'll be taken to the screen, and then from here I can also utilize various labels or buttons, and then I can use this say button to execute some command. So on select something should happen. Okay, so I'll type in notify, and then I can type in various parameters over here, right? Similarly for power apps as well, like if you have a power apps, if you have a canvas app. So let me go into the apps, and if I go into the canvas app, so this is a world peace app. So let me click on edit, and it all started from canvas app perspective. So when first canvas app was launched, so there was an people can type in commands in the command bar, and that was basically a powerfx command. Again, that powerfx command can be used to perform various actions available within powerfx. You can mix and merge your columns and then define your own logic, right? So I think I've opened this in different screen. Yes, so it is open over here. So again, from a canvas app perspective, you select a button or select any text or any component, and then from here you can write the powerfx command. So if you want to change the x value, y value, or if you want to change the font or do anything, you can just select that, and then from here you can select various property. Like if you want to change the icon, but then you want to change the icon dynamically, you can do that. You can use a switch, you can use an if, you can do various functionality available within powerfx. Power pages. Now
Good.
power pages, if I create a new page and I call this pfx, so this is again a powerfx implementation in power pages. So how you can use is like in the power pages page, if I click on text, and then here you will see a button called fx. Now fx, if I click on fx, then here you will see a formula bar. What you need to do is like you need to just put equal to and then start typing the formula. So if I just type equal to now, and if I click on save, then it will put the date time over here. Similarly, I can just type in today, and then it will give you the date for today. And similarly, if you have a table like say accounts or contacts, so it will also list down that. And also from a power pages perspective, you have article comments or you have an action card. So all the tables and various other components or references, arguments, connector values, all those things can be utilized within power pages. So this is how we're using power pages. Also from a power automate desktop perspective, now I'm in power automate desktop, and if I click on new flow, then there is an option to enable the powerfx enable preview. So basically powerfx is power platform's official language. It is open source, inspired by excel formula, and then I will just type in desk flow 1. So I'm creating a power automate desktop flow. Now from a power automate desktop flow perspective, there are multiple places whereby powerfx is used. So one is while creating a variable or running a flow. So if I see click on variable, and if I say set variable in one of the flow, so I can see this fx over here. So what I can do, I can select the function, I can just type in now, and then I'll select this now, and this will be stored in a variable. So I've used powerfx in power automate desktop. Similarly, I can run a powerfx expression. So if I just drag and drop this run powerfx expression, I can run powerfx expression. Now if I just type in fx over here, and if I just type in say notify, now you will not find notify function over here, because again it is contextual. So in power automate you can use some functions but not all of the powerfx functions available, right? Now what I can use, I can use say today. So if I just type in today and see whether today is available, and it's yes, today is available, and I'll click on save. Now what happens if you want to show a message box in power automate desktop, you cannot use a notify function because that is power app specific. So here you can use message box. So there is a display message functionality, and then within display message you can use powerfx to dynamically change the message box title or message to display. So the moment you click on any of the text box, you will see this fx button, and then you can use powerfx functionality. So like this you can use in power automate desktop. In power bi, now if I'm creating a new measure, so what I'll do is like in power bi, if I click on new measure, and this is the measure name, and if I just type in space bar, and if I just type in something n, then here I will be able to see various function. Now this is dax function, so I'll be if I want to use something in power bi, this is the dax function. Now this is again a comprehensive list, like how we have excel functions, but powerfx is bit limited functionality. Again, this also depends on the context. Now you cannot use notify over here because the application of power bi is something related to defining the data visualization, data modeling, and writing DAX, or doing all those column or projection operations, right? So depending on the context, you will see the available functions. Now we have seen so many applications. Now you might get confused and say from where to find all this information back. Like if I want to see which functions are supported within say powerfx, so what you can do is like I have created some bookmarks. Okay, now if I'll just show you this. So from a power fx cli perspective, this is the documentation. From, let me show you another. So let me open all this thing, open all six, a new window. Yep. So there are different different various sites. So this documentation talks about powerfx function. So it will powerfx functions in desktop flow. So if I click on available powerfx functions in desktop flow, here you will see all the functionality in available from a powerfx from a desktop flow perspective. Similarly, for power pages, this documentation is a bit different. Okay, so not all the functions are available in all the system. Okay. Now the last one which I want to show you is Pack CLI. So this is the Pack CLI version. So I have a command called as Pack Power Effect. So I've installed Pack CLI within my environment. So if I just type in Pack Power Dash FX, I can see two commands: REPL, which launches interactive PowerFX redevelop print loop, and run command. Okay. Now for run command, what we can do is like we can create a desktop. We can create a file in desktop or any other location. So I have already created a file in my desktop. Let me open that file. Yeah. So this is that file. Okay, now in that file I can write various powerfx commands. So I'll just type in, say, today. Okay, and see what happens. Okay, so I'll just save this file, and this file name is called as abc.txt, and it is stored in my desktop folder. So let's write the command pack power fx and run. Now what to run? We need to run a file. Now that file is located in C uses Girish OneDrive desktop, and the file name is, I think it's abc.txt, and it will run the powerfx command. Now as you see over here, it connects to the environment. Now remember, you need to connect it to uh, uh, one of the auth profile, and then once it is connected, it will run the command. So now it has successfully run the command. But if you want to view what it has executed, you just type in dash dash echo, and then the output will be displayed on the screen. Now it has executed today, and it is showing me the date. So similarly, I can write many things over here. I'll just type in now. That is also one of the command. And also if I want to extract the contacts, maybe let me see contacts. Now if I just type in contacts, the name of the table, it will run that command. Okay, so let me save this. So what this file is, this is simple text file which has all the powerfx command which is supported in packcli execution. So first statement, if it runs, it will give you the date. Second statement will give you the date and time, and the third statement will iterate through the contacts table. So let me run this command again after making those changes. Now, once it is done, it will connect to the environment, and once it is connected, it will start executing the powerfx command one by one. Now, as you see over here, it has executed the command today, which gives you the date. Now, command which gives you the date time, and it has iterated through the contacts table, and it has listed down all the contacts which is available within this particular table. So that's it, folks. This is all about powerfx commands and powerfx usage in different applications. Thanks for watching.